How are you?
I'm great. It's a wonderful day.
Yes, it's a wonderful day. Hi, everybody. I am Adriana Cool, and welcome to the Recovered Party Girl podcast. I am your host, and I have today a very wonderful, special, lovely, gorgeous, smart, sassy, get your ass together in a heartbeat. My beautiful friend, Miss Nikki Smith, everybody. Woo! Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Yes. So I told you guys before that since I'm solo dolo, I am going to be bringing on some of my close friends, my very close-knit circle of friends, and I think they're all fabulous, and they have great perspectives of life and love and dating and kids and all that good stuff. And my first guest is one of my really good friends, Miss Nikki. We've been friends for over 10 years, right?
Yes.
Yep. We met in 2010.
11 years.
11 years.
No.
Something like that. I'm not good at quick math.
Over a decade.
Yeah, over a decade. We actually met in our party girl phase.
Yes.
So in that time frame of me working at D-Bar, just working, bartending in clubs in general, I met this gorgeous soul. We actually met, what was the name of that club? It was in Sugarland.
It was the
M Lounge?
Yes.
Okay.
M
yes.
Lounge.
We met at M Lounge, and we just literally just clicked.
Yes.
She was going,
I still do it.
She still does it, but that's what I remember the most. She was just so vibrant, and let's take shots. Back then it was Rumple Mints.
Oh my gosh, and Fireball.
Oh my god, what the fuck? I couldn't even imagine that now. But yeah, so we've been friends for a very long time.
Yes.
We've cried to each other. We've been drunk as shit.
You've been injured.
We've been injured. Fatal injuries, absolutely. So there's a lot of things that, and we've seen each other grow.
That's the thing that stands out, I think, in our friendship.
Yes.
The evolution.
Yes.
Of our persons.
Yes.
Of our journeys.
We definitely, and it's not like a friendship that's like, where we have to talk every day. And I think this is what makes it so beautiful, is that when we do get together, it's light, it's fun. She definitely gathers me up and lets me know, ma'am, raise the standards. But
we all do.
Yeah.
And it's just,
But we always need that friend to say, no, ma'am, no. So
to check you at the door.
Check at the door. Waiting on you at the door. Okay? So yes, I'm so happy for you to be here, and I'm
happy to be here.
I'm happy for you to be here.
I always support my friend Adriana.
Yes,
always.
she does. She is definitely
everything that you're doing.
Yes, a big supporter of mine, and I love her so much. Like, this is real friendship, people.
Yes.
Like, you don't have to talk every day. You don't have to hang out every day.
No drama.
No drama. If, I hurt feelings or my feelings are hurt, it's definitely not like a...
Well, we can talk through everything.
Yeah, we can absolutely talk through everything.
I think transparency is very important in any relationship.
Yeah.
But Adriana, you've been like a stable... There's been stability in our friendship.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not an up and down thing.
No.
It's just about when we talk.
Yeah.
It's always like us catching each other up on life, and like I said, evolution has been the most beautiful thing that I've seen in our friendship, because we've got to see each other grow, like through things, through life events.
Ratchet ass boyfriends /
ex-husband
situationships.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And then Just in our careers, we've been able to see the growth.
The growth.
Like the hard, the struggle, the hustle. And then now we're getting to enjoy like our labors.
Yeah, the fruits.
The fruits, yeah.
Cheers
enjoy
to
the
that.
fruits, yes. Thank you.
Cheers to that.
All.
That's okay. That was great.
What are we drinking?
This is Pinot Grigio. Whole Foods has this nice little section. So, like, I'm not a wine snob. I know there's a lot of people that only drink, you know, certain kind of wines, or it has to be $20 or higher. Honey, give me the $4, $3 shit. It goes down the same way. It comes out the same way, and I'm happy. So, Whole Foods has a very delightful section that's like $3.
Really?
Yeah, this was $3.
Okay.
But I love it.
Good.
I mean, it gets the job done.
And it's crisp.
And it's crispy.
Yes. Crispy,
it's
crackety.
crispy.
Not
Yes.
crackety, but crispy.
Yeah. So, so yeah. Okay. So let's.
So much fun.
Yeah. Let's jump in. So I really love, like, Nikki is one of my friends where I know I'm going to hear the absolute truth. Okay, Nikki is definitely one of those people where, like, don't come to her if you ain't really trying to like grow.
That's a good way of putting it.
If you're not trying to grow, don't go to Nikki, because Nikki will absolutely. And I feel like in friendships we need those kind of people, and well, I do, because I know sometimes I need that toughness, and I appreciate the toughness, because I don't want no friend that's a yes friend all the time. If I'm fucking up, I need you to say, AD, you fucking up, sis. What are you doing? I need that. And I think that that's important, to have one of those type of friends in your circle, and Nikki is absolutely that for me. Like, if I need to hear the hard truth, the real truth, and nothing but that truth, I'm going to call Nikki. If there's a guy that I really like and he's doing bare minimum, Nikki gonna say, girl, wake up. So I wanted this episode to be about dating advice, and what would we tell our younger selves about relationships and all of that stuff. Because one, I think it's important. I am in contact with a lot of young girls, and when I say young girls, like high school, early 20s, and I really feel like if I had like a us,
yeah, that would have been nice
at those very important times, I don't think that I would have been in a lot of situations that I allowed, or I accepted, or I settled for. And I think that it is such an important topic, because we have social media that totally warps the idea of what a healthy relationship looks like, and what a good man, you know, everybody wants this high value man, but the high value man is trash. Like, you know, if he's a shitty person, no amount of money can really make it okay, because you're still a shitty person to your core. And I feel like sometimes social media,
yeah, I think that they've kind of overused that word.
Yes,
maybe we can just
stop
call
using
it maybe just a good quality of a person,
a good man, just a good person, a good human. So that's what I wanted
that's
to
just
topic.
one part of it, though.
Yeah, because it's still other stuff. It's still other stuff, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
But but I just think that to me is a really important topic, and I say that because I'm getting back into dating now. I know I've said this previously on the show. I've been on a hiatus because I feel like I've just was accepting and allowing and settling for certain behaviors, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I had to figure out what I wanted, one, and what I didn't want,
and what you need,
and what I need. That's important, the need, because what I want versus what I need are two different things. And
yes,
I feel like the need is more important accepting what I want because I want a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Like, you want a lot of, but what I truly need to be seen, feel seen, heard, acknowledged, appreciated. That's a whole different ballgame than just what I want. So, I just wanted to share that, and I think you're the perfect person for this because I love your perspective on dating and all that.
I think it just comes from experiences. I don't know it all, and I think that it's just being able to share successes, share where you've failed.
Yeah.
And just being able to communicate that in a way that's not judging you, and that's having some empathy as well, and just being transparent.
Yeah,
I like you said, I don't think it would be doing you a disservice to sugarcoat anything or not tell you the truth, because a lot of times when we're in situations we can't see.
From the outside.
From the outside, it looks totally different. It's totally different.
Very true.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in a emotionally, physically, verbally abusive situation, you can't see outside of that, but other people can see it.
Yeah. So it's important to surround yourself when you're dating with people that love and support you.
Yes.
That's one of the things I would say.
Yeah.
I wish I would have told my younger self, or I wish someone that was in my life would have told me, is to mainly have people
that support system
to support you, because it's important.
They can see it, and because I can think back when I was in a particular relationship, and I can look at these pictures of myself while I was in this relationship, and I look completely different. I don't even recognize myself with this person because of the emotional craziness that I was experiencing. I can't even tell you who that person was because I look completely different.
I remember that time.
Yeah. The one I tried to run over.
It was kind of funny though.
But
I remember those calls when you were frantic.
I was so frantic, y'all. Like, that was a doozy. But I will say, in hindsight, looking back, that was the relationship that really awakened me. That relationship actually started my spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
Because for the life of me, I could not understand what the fuck was happening and why it was happening and why I was feeling crazy and why it was just like this craziness. But I will say that in hindsight, it was a blessing in disguise, because it actually opened myself up to the idea of, it's me. I'm accepting some shit. Now, granted, I still went on to date toxic people after that.
But recovering is not an overnight process.
Come on, baby! Yes, Lord. That's why we're in the recovery room, because it is not an overnight process.
It's not.
Ooh, Nikki, say it again. You know how they be in church and then ain't nobody raise their hand, and the pastor says, let me repeat.
Let me repeat. Recovering is not an overnight process. It may take years. It may take decades for you to heal, for you to love yourself to where you need to love yourself. Yeah. And for you to actually enforce boundaries or expectations. You have to learn how to do that, how to accept consequence of that. But again, it's important to have people that love and support you around you, because even though, like, I know better, sometimes you don't do it. And so you just need people to hold you accountable. Yeah. You know, when the times that you can't hold yourself accountable, you're not relying. It's not anyone else's responsibility to hold you accountable, but in what you're doing in your dating decisions. But just having some closeness and some trusted advisors that you can
Absolutely.
bounce ideas off of, or
and
situations.
Not even feel judged by it.
Yes, that's important, because you're not going to open up to someone
that's going
to condemn you.
Right, because that's another thing.
That's a good, but it's hard.
It is.
For people not to feel that, and I think that's why you have to have a level of trust.
Mm-hmm. A level of trust with your friend group circle, and to me that's so important, because I know I'm going to make mistakes. I know I'm going to over rationalize or rationalize red flags, and I need a trusted group of advisors that, one, are not going to judge me for me being wide nosed and with my what was it, they rose colored glasses on. Yeah, like don't judge me. But I need help. Right. So I definitely agree with you on that. So what would be one of the biggest lessons that you're all, because I know your history. So what would be something that you feel like you learned the most from your dating? And I mean, 'cause she's married, so it's like that's a different level, right? So just dating wise, what would be like a really good lesson that you could share?
So backing it up, when I was dating, I think the biggest lessons I learned was not entertaining men or ideas that are not supportive of you putting you at a level where you need to be. Basically, because we all talk about, we complain about men and the men we date, but it's us that entertain it. You have a choice on entertaining it, and I think that the more you entertain situations that are good for you, you'll have better outcomes. So I think the most important thing I learned in the past is just to stop entertaining the bullshit.
That's true.
I mean, it's just simple as that, because no relationship, no situation is going to be perfect, but the more you have better decisions on how you spend your time in dating, then you're going to have better outcomes.
Now, do you believe in the idea of, okay, so I guess I'll say this, like, I hear a lot of like my married friends say how they just focused on themselves and the man just followed suit and was boom. So like sometimes I feel like it's like this, like what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say it's this conflicting notion where you can't focus too much on yourself, because that's whatever, and then if you don't focus, I know you got it. I feel you. I feel it revving up. What do you say to that? Like, what do you? Okay, I know what you think. They don't know what you think, but do you think it's important to just focus as a woman? I'm only speaking to the ladies, because to me, a man is supposed to be the pursuer. So I'm only speaking to ladies. I know that there are guys that listen to this, but what are your thoughts on a woman just focusing on herself until?
Yeah, I think that, and this is, again, to piggyback on what you're saying, this is just my opinion. And my opinion is based on how I've been brought up and what ideas I choose to adopt. But I think that as a woman, it's your job to love yourself, and part of loving yourself is doing things that make you happy. And I think that in dating, men typically love women that have an air of love about themselves, and that have something to give. And you can't do that if you're giving an air of desperation, because I think that
giving in the air of desperation. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you should always focus on what makes you happy, and because the minute that you don't, you're I think you're just over compromising for that temporary situation.
Yeah, because it absolutely will be temporary, especially if you don't allow yourself to just focus on what you want.
And I think that loving yourself and doing things that, because you have a sense of self when you are doing the things you want to do, that you're maintaining your own social circle, you have an air of just love and attractiveness. People are attracted to people that are happy and that are doing things that they love to do.
Yeah, I agree.
And so I think that's is not more so a game or anything, but it's just more so because everybody wins in that way. When you're feeding yourself and you're fulfilling yourself, you can pour out to others. You know, that includes mothers. You know, they always say that about mothers that are trying to balance everything, motherhood and just taking care of everybody. You have to take care of yourself. And I think that applies to any woman that's dating, is just to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Because if you don't, I mean, that's just you're just going down a rabbit hole, and it's just downhill from there.
Now, I know we speak a lot, okay? Me and Nikki have a lot of conversations about dating, especially me more like,
I think for now, because before it was more balanced, but more recently, I guess.
Definitely more recently. For sure. For shit show more recently. But Nikki has always said to me that making sure I set boundaries. I am so not used to setting boundaries that it is so, I don't want to say it's difficult, but I'm not used to it. And so I have had a hard time in the past setting boundaries and not allowing men to do, because I know what I look like to guys. I know that it's like a butterfly, right? I feel like sometimes I'm like a butterfly,
like a flower child.
and it's this like the guys, they see this pretty little butterfly and they want to capture it and put it in a frame and pin it on their walls, and I'm just like, and I can't be that because I need my freedom to fly and flutter around and shit like that. And I think the building of boundaries is something that I'm really, really, truly working on, because that has been hard for me. I have not done that in the past, in my past relationship.
Yeah, and if you don't know what they are,
and I don't even know what they are, how do I set them? Like, what the fuck? Like, but I feel like now I'm getting to the point to where I'm setting those things, and you have really helped me.
I've emphasized that for a long time, for over the last few years.
Absolutely. Like, you've helped me to, like, even just like going out on dates. Nikki's like, did he make an appointment?
I did it today.
Did he make an appointment?
I hear you,
but was it a last minute? If it was last minute, you don't need to be going. But it's just like these things that, oh my God.
And I know sometimes you're like, oh, Nikki.
I just think he's so cute. I just want to see.
Yeah.
But no, I get what you're saying. Yeah. But no, I think that that's important. And I think that setting the tone for how you want to be treated.
I think that, first of all,
go ahead, give it to him. Come on.
First of all, setting boundaries is important in any relationship. Any relationship, that means in working, family, friends, relationships, romantic partners. Setting boundaries is a must. You have to teach people what you can tolerate, what you expect. It's just the basic form of communication. And I think that people actually like when you set boundaries because they know what to do. I mean, people like it.
What are your boundaries?
What do you mean? Like,
Wait. What are your boundaries? Like, what's something that is non-negotiable for you, and like, Yeah, like what
Respect.
what's
I would say respect, a level of respect. I'm not going to be disrespected.
Okay. Yeah.
Respect
Absolutely.
is
That's number one.
Yeah, and I think because one of my core values is integrity, as you know, and I mean, people see that in everything I do. I'm being truthful. I always say the truth will set you free. So
It will.
lying is like
what's
not
the point?
Acceptable.
To me,
it's like a deal breaker.
As
for me.
I don't like
adult, lies. I hate them. I actually feel like if I were in a different dimension and I was a dictator, that lying would be
off with your head.
Yes,
absolutely.
It would be a crime that is punishable by death.
You know what I also believe should be a crime is omission.
Yes, that's still a lie. Omission, white lies, or
omitting things in order to manipulate the situation into, because I believe in making choices. I like to make whatever the choice may be, I would prefer the truth so that I can make a very clear and cut decision for myself. And when somebody lies,
yeah,
and I make a decision based off a lie, now I'm ready to fight. Now I'm ready to run. I'm ready to get in my car.
Yeah.
Got it. I need to talk to you.
Right. So that's what you're going to run across in, I guess, dating is omitting.
Yeah.
That's the main
a lot
thing,
of omission.
Right? It may not be lies, but it's
a lot
just
of
like
omitting. Yeah.
White lies. I call them white lies. Omission. And I think that, you know, when I was dating, I would typically, what I call, and I'm so aggressive with this, but I call it, I would always put my gun on the table.
What is your gun? Like a real gun?
No, I have a gun. I love to shoot guns, but it's more figurative.
Okay.
And so what I mean by putting my gun on the table is just to let people know, or who I was dating, what I expected and what I would not tolerate up front. And you know,
like
that might
first date, day one.
First date.
Okay, so
yeah,
we're
like
on the first date.
Okay.
And hi.
How you doing?
Good. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right.
You. Yeah. So let me see your driver's license. This is real life.
What's your date of birth? You go get the.
Let me see your driver's license.
Okay. I don't have my driver's license with me.
Let me see your driver's license.
Okay, here's my driver's license.
This is not your driver's license. I asked for your driver's license.
Okay, I don't have it.
You have it. Let me see your driver's license. You lied to me.
Okay.
Don't do that. If you want to date me again, if you ever want to talk to me again, you will not lie.
Oh.
Is that understood?
I bet niggas be, the dick just be right here.
Yeah. They love it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So what would be like your, because I would like to say that I do like a round of like 21 questions, rapid fire, to see
really?
Where their head is at.
Okay.
But like, what would be your
21 questions?
Or like, what would be some good first date questions?
Well, I mean, I think probably the most standard ones, of course. You know, how many times have you been married? Are you married? How many kids do you have? How many grandkids do you have?
Is somebody pregnant right now that could potentially be your baby?
Are you conceiving right now? Are you waiting? Is anyone taking pregnancy tests?
Is somebody confused?
Right. Are you employed? Are you gainfully employed? Yes. Family dynamic is like.
Family dynamic is important.
How is your relationship with your mother?
Ooh.
Yeah.
And father.
Yeah, and father. Yeah, of course. What's your family dynamic like?
Yeah.
You know, did you grow up in a two-parent household, and how was that like? You know, how did your father treat your mother? Yeah. What else?
Maybe sibling dynamics, or you think, or does that play?
I think it does play a role in how they are and how they were shaped as growing up. But for me, is yes, friend circles. Yeah, because you know you date guys that have a whole bunch of female friends.
Birds of a feather
Right. Flock together.
So would you cancel a guy?
Ooh,
so
that's a good question.
All right. So this is my thing, right? Like, I feel like I value relationships. I've maintained relationships.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I have friendships that are 20 years, 15, 10, whatever. But I have friendships that I've maintained relationships with. And to me, I am very leery of people that don't have friendships that are over 10 years.
I think that really kind of plays a part with men. I mean, with women, right?
You think
versus
so?
Men? Yeah. I think so.
So do you think would you care if a man didn't have a best friend for like 20 years or 10 years?
They
or
may not call
years?
it that.
Or
yeah,
okay.
So
you're right.
For men,
okay.
for men, I think it's a little bit different. I think it depends on the personality type, for sure. Because some people are loners, so you have some men that have friendships that they've known for a long time, but they may not spend time with them all the time. And I think it depends on the age. Okay. I mean, like if they're like for our younger selves, if they're in college,
they're gonna have like a circle.
Yeah, like if they're in a fraternity, they're gonna have a whole bunch of friends that play a part in their decision making and how they treat women. But if you have someone that's just super focused, or just even younger, if they're super focused on their studies. So,
friendship with guys doesn't matter. So
not to me, no.
Okay,
I wouldn't be concerned.
Okay, so I need to dial that down.
Well, I'm not saying you dial it down because it depends on how you want to live your life and your lifestyle, right? Do you want a man that has a good circle of friends, but what do those friends look like? Like, does he have a whole bunch of friends that are married, or do you have cheaters? So it just depends.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good thing. That's something good to think about, because as a bartenders, right? You see it all.
You do see it all.
You see it all. You see the husbands come in with the girlfriends on Tuesday.
Yeah.
The wife on Friday.
Right.
You see the friends that they
hang around. Everything, actually.
And it's just like nobody's holding nobody accountable for shit. Everybody's it's like a fucking free for all. So and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you see everything.
You see everything.
Everything.
And you see the friends the dudes covering up for the guy, and it's
the wife that comes in with an attitude.
Yeah. So like you see it all. So I guess like I always looked at it, maybe because I like my friendships. I like going out to dinner with my friends. I like doing things with my friends, and I don't want to be in a relationship where a guy is just I can't have my friend. You know what I mean?
I think that's just setting your boundaries. I don't think that has anything to do with how he is with his friends. I think that you coming in, just letting them know, that you're going to maintain a sense of self, and that you love your friends. You have some really deep friendships, and that you don't. You not necessarily compromise, or just set boundaries there. Yeah. That's it. I mean, that's it. You set your boundaries. You have the freedom in this world to do what you want to do.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's a billion, more than I don't know the actual population of the world.
I said it was like 7 billion.
Yeah, but there's many people in this world where I think that where your values and y'all can accept each other's boundaries.
Now, okay, I have a question. Would you... I don't believe in emotional dumping. I don't like when people dump on me. I don't like everything all at once. But I do believe that if you feel... like when you're when you're dating, or like if you're like on a first or second, third date, right? Okay. And you're feeling the vibe, but you just want things on the table.
You want the gun on the table?
I want the gun on the table. That's going to be the name of this episode. The gun is on the table. I like that. Do you think that there is anything wrong with just being like so hardcore up front? to where you're, even though like you like him, this is like a vibe, but you need to lay down the fucking law because it's getting, he's fine, he's like.
I would say just be yourself. Be yourself. For me, I have a very strong personality. So that works for me. I don't care. If they can either accept it or not. So I just think that you want to be yourself. Your approach in delivering your boundaries can vary depending on who you are.
Okay.
But for me, with my personality, because I'm always busy, I don't have time to waste. So I like to get things out in front, and I do not like wasted time. I hate wasting time. And I think, especially in the time when I was dating, I'm still like that now, but I'm a little bit more, as I'm getting older, I'm compromising a little bit more, but that was my main thing. Do not waste my time. I just hated that.
So what is a compromise for you?
For now, wasting time, I'm just living. I'm living life. I'm participating in life. And as I'm getting older, I'm becoming a little bit more softer. And just
I can see that.
Valuing relationships more and being patient. I was very impatient for the majority of my life, and so I'm starting to get more patient. So I think that's just what I'm saying. It's just I'm becoming more patient.
Patience.
Yeah,
I do agree with that because patience with because I know I'm a strong personality, but like it's like in the beginning, and then we've had this discussion where I've hidden myself because I know I'm a very strong, dominant personality, and I've allowed myself to play small because I eventually play big. You know, does that make sense?
So you need to be yourself. Play big up front. Don't be a representative.
Oh shit! God damn.
What?
I've been being a representative.
These are the moments we have on the phone.
Jesus. Yes, these are this what just happened is what we talk about. Like this is our energy on the phone.
Because it's not fair to the other person.
It isn't.
And if you're going to expect something from a man and being themselves and show you who they are, then we need to do the same too. Because what are we doing this for? You have to be intentional. If you're going to date if you're going to date with a purpose, this is only to people that are dating with a purpose.
Okay, yeah.
If you're dating with a purpose, you want to be intentional about what you're doing. You know, and without fear of a person rejecting you.
Yeah, rejecting you.
Because it's going to happen in the long run and once you show your authentic self.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree on that. All right, so real quick. First date sex.
No.
Okay. Okay. How soon do you go to a man's place or allow a man to come to your place? What's your take on that?
So let's the question first before I answer that question. What is your intention?
Okay, so if I'm looking for a long-term partner, I'm looking for a long-term
husband. I mean, because you can have a long-term partner that's
not my husband.
Benefits.
I don't want
no
friends with benefits. Okay, I don't want a friends with benefits. Definitely don't want a friends with benefits. Absolutely not. Marriage is a whole other topic. We would have to get into that. But yes. If I met the right one, yes.
If you're looking for a long-term monogamous relationship,
yes.
Okay. So I think that you need to set your boundary. I think that, for one, your body is a temple. I'm not saying that you can't have sex soon, but what I'm saying is, if you're dating with a purpose,
you're gonna want to hold out.
No, not necessarily hold out. Get to know a person. That's it. Get to know a person.
Got spirits on them.
Yeah, you can't get to know a person when temptation is foggy, like it's like a fog.
And then you were rationalizing red flags.
Yeah, because if you're at each other's house, I mean, your home is a place of intimacy.
Yeah, it's
sacred. Yeah, and so like if you are visiting each other's places and like getting to know each other at each other's home, there's so much temptation there, and I think that you should date in common places, like going to the movies. Just date traditionally.
Yeah.
There's a reason I think that you do it that way, because you truly get to know each other. You build up tension. I mean, I love sexual tension. Don't you?
Do you?
I love it.
Yeah, I like it too. Because it's just like, it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. Don't you love it? But you can't if you can't build it up if you're at the house, because all you have to do is go in the room.
That's so true.
Or you just drop it like it's hot right there.
Motherfucker be like, ow!
So I think that, like, if you're dating with intention or you're with purpose, that you should. I'm not gonna say court, but I like to use the word courting, because in traditional sense, when you court, you are spending time with each other outside of your home. You're spending time with each other's families, just so your family. Yeah.
So you mean engaging with family?
Yeah.
Now, how soon is too soon? Do you think, in your opinion, is too early to meet the family, or too late? Like, what is that?
I mean, of course, it wouldn't be on the first date, because you might meet that person and you're immediately like turned off. You know that that's not a person you want to date, right? But I think that after a few dates, I don't think you should put a number on it, but after a few dates, you should
be just, you should
gauge
it.
So I don't think that you should, and it really depends on your family, right? But I think that once you feel like you could date the person, that you should bring them around your family, and again, making sure that you're bringing them around people you love and trust. Okay. So not every family member is that kind of person, but bringing them around people you love and trust is important, because they'll be able to get to see things that you're not able to see.
You're not able to see, because your nose is wide open.
Yeah, and then vice versa. He needs to see what he's getting into, too. So I think that it's healthy. Yeah, that's
interesting. I always felt like meeting family. Now, granted, I have was quick to make a jump and allow people to meet my family and my close friend circle, because I thought, but it was quickly I quickly realized that was a mistake.
Through how?
So I'll use one person as an example. No names. We were friends first, and then one night it was like, I like you, you like me. Let's just make this thing pop.
But one night?
In this one particular night, but we were friends for like 6 months.
Oh,
so
okay.
It was not
I think I know.
It wasn't. It wasn't like. It wasn't like. It wasn't like. You know what I mean? Like, we literally. I went out one night. He was out, because I can't give too much.
Right. I know. So
when that happened, I was like, oh my God, you like me, I like you too. Boom. It was one and done, right? And then next thing I know, it's Christmas, and I wanted to go home, and I made an offer. Hey, won't you, come down? And he came down, and he met my family and my high school friends. But then after that, it was just like,
what does that mean?
Huh?
What does that mean?
It was like everything just went kind of downhill from after that. And so I told,
meaning it was like a communication.
It was everything. It was like a whole total mind fuck.
Okay. Well, then that needed to happen. You know that it's not the person for you. It wasn't the family that did it.
No,
you see what I'm saying?
I mean, it wasn't the family it wasn't that. It was just.
So what's your whole, like, what did you get from that?
Don't introduce nobody to nobody. But then I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
See, I straddle the fence in that regard because I want my family. For the longest time, I felt like my family thought I was like a lesbian or something because I never would bring anybody around because of how I moved in. It wasn't until the one that I tried to run over, he came down. He was the first person I really introduced to my family.
So that was a big deal for them.
Oh, it was a big deal for them because,
Right.
again, I felt like they thought that I was just like, a lesbian.
So that's why I think that you should do it more often if you're dating.
Even if it's not somebody that it doesn't matter.
No. If you're someone you're not feeling, you wouldn't do that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, okay, so if I'm dating and I like you.
Yeah, bring them around your family.
So that shouldn't be
a regular
reserved for
I don't
the
think
top
it
tier.
should.
So, okay. Because I don't know why in my head I felt like that should only be reserved for...
But you're doing it alone. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So like we said, you want to have people around you that love and support you when you're dating.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're actively dating, you bring them around to get
see.
different perspectives.
Oh.
To see how they interact, to see, because right in that moment, I think the person you're dating is going to be forced to be their authentic selves.
Yeah. And they'll show who they are.
Yeah, and people will see what you don't see. So I think you should do that on a regular basis. It shouldn't be like a big deal.
I hope y'all see my face because I've totally been ass backwards in this.
I don't think we've ever talked about that.
No, we have
Never.
not. But like, that's a very, again, I'm like, nah, ain't nobody doing, nope. This is only reserved. No, but you're absolutely right. Damn. Wow.
I like to sometimes study history and how the royal families conducted themselves. So a lot of my ideas and the way things I like to adopt come from just how royal.
I can see that.
Like courting
and you gotta introduce to the queen.
And it's an active, it's a regular thing that when your family knows you're dating. Hey, we're dating. I'm dating this person. We're courting, and I'm gonna bring them around to see what you think. You're involving them because, especially if your family is important to you, right?
Wow.
Or if you have family, it doesn't have to be blood family, but
right, just
friends.
Your circle.
You. Yeah.
Your circle. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Literally, I was ass backwards on that. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. Because
you're processing that.
I'm processing this. You can tell I'm processing. You can tell I'm processing this because, that makes so much sense. Because other people can see what I can't.
Yeah. The people that love and support you.
The people that love me and want the best for me will be able to see what I can't.
You're not basing your decisions based on
what they think.
You're just getting
but you trust opinions.
Diversity is important in everything.
Absolutely, because if everybody says, "Hey, yo,"
that's a scumbag.
Yeah. And I've had people within my life, and it's not just dating people. It's not just dating people, but like people in my life that other people have been like, yo, that person is trash. And I'm like, and it has been you, this person, and they all see it, but I'm giving grace.
Right.
You know what I mean? Woo. Okay. All right. I hope we're all taking notes, guys, because that's tea. And I like that.
You like that?
Is it?
Like that?
Yeah.
What's the next question? I'm actually enjoying this.
Okay. What's the next question?
I love this format.
How soon is too soon to have sex?
I don't put a number on that. I really don't.
Now, would you, in your opinion, just off you?
Or,
now, granted, I've jumped the gun. And I think,
we
all have.
Yeah.
We jumped the gun where we thought and it was quick and blah, blah, blah. But now that you know better, because when you know better, you do better, right? So
there's a reason why I don't put a time period on it. I think that
you have to wait to see.
I feel like you have to focus on other things, and other things will give you the wisdom to dictate when you're ready.
So what would say?
Like, so if you're going to engage in premarital sex, basically.
Fornication. If you're going to engage in fornication,
yes. Let me take a drink.
Okay, we're talking premarital sex here, people.
If you're going to engage in premarital sex, I think, again, you should focus on other things like working on your discernment on you. But discernment is very important in dating or in just living life. Having wisdom to know if a person is right for you or not, or to recognize whether if it's might be a good fit for you to even date. So if you're engaging in premarital sex, I think that loving yourself is important, because the more you love yourself, the more you'll be able to recognize if the person deserves your body. And focusing on what level you're putting your body. You know what I mean? Not everyone deserves your body. Because you don't want to be
so casual, right?
There's a lot of reasons why you don't want to do that.
Well, I mean, it is a lot of reasons why. I mean, obviously, and I guess even now, and I've said this before, I'm on ice. Okay, my shit is on ice. Now
you got the ice box.
I got an ice box where my ice box is supposed to be. Anyways,
your hot box.
My hot box. Oh yeah, hot box. But I did realize that casual is not for me. I don't like casual. The last relationship I thought, this was not this past summer, but the previous summer. So last summer, 2021 summer. He's a great guy, but I didn't. And it was great, right? But
what was great?
The
sex.
Okay. The sex was great.
It was just empty sex then.
It was empty. Yeah. It was, and then I started to feel like a piece of meat. I didn't like that. And then two.
Why? Because you started loving yourself more.
Yeah, I'm not a piece of meat, okay? I'm just not somebody that you can call and I'm just available. Like, it's not that. And then I started to realize, okay, well, I'm not a needy Nancy. And I don't like needy Nancys. Meaning, I don't like needy people. I have a life. And I cannot be made to feel bad about having a life and being busy and living in my purpose and walking in my, all of that stuff. And I felt like I was being made to feel bad for doing that. And after I decided to leave that alone, I said, okay, I'm done. I know no sex. I'm not, because it's like, as sexual as I am, I don't want to feel like a piece of meat.
Right.
I just want to be able to be with somebody that I can just do my thing with, but without feeling like a piece of meat. Now, if it's like a situation where it's just like, like a role play type of shit, but it's like between.
You can be a piece of steak.
I can be a piece of steak, but don't treat me like the chicken in the yellow package.
Oh my God! So I think that to kind of go towards answering your question again, you on your journey and recovering and being recovered, you've healed, you've put yourself
recognized.
Yeah, you started loving yourself more. Like I said, if you have those feelings only because you love yourself. If you have lower self-esteem, or if you don't recognize that your body's a temple and that you're a prize, then you're not going to feel like a piece of meat. But, you know, focusing on your value and you being something that's precious, then you will know when it's time. You know, and so that what that means is having discernment on that person, and that's why it's important to get to know somebody, to get to know them, because over time people can only be
they can pretend for so long.
And people actually, I mean, believe it or not, I mean, even when you get married,
it's
people
still
you still find out things about people you don't necessarily find out in the beginning. But I think that when you talk about risk factors, okay, you know, you lower risk of making improper decisions on mating with a person if you give it time to get to know them and be in situations where they have no choice but to be their authentic selves.
Okay.
You know?
So let's change gears a little bit.
And you build up that sexual tension. Because you get to really see if you're actually attracted to them versus them just you're just giving into their needs, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm a believer on, you know, I like what I like. You know, and if I feel like it's right, it's right.
If the time is right, and the mood is...
Wait. Girl, I need some tequila shots for that.
That's what she used to do, guys. That's what she used to do in the club. And she was so funny.
And you hear that all over.
Yes.
It's very...
Okay, so I see a lot of people talking about, and we'll wrap it up. I see a lot of people talking about, like, don't do wifey type shit so early on.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But I feel like I love to cook, right? I genuinely like to cook. And that's something that I personally don't see a problem with doing early on. Do you think that would be something like to not...
Were you going to be cooking at the park?
I'm asking, okay?
No, but were you going to cook at the park?
I don't know.
Because otherwise they have to come to your house.
Yeah, maybe my house, his house.
So, no.
Okay.
Yeah, so... that I'm exaggerating, but I think that I agree with that. You know, like
going to the park.
If your is your intention to have,
because that was funny as fuck. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm saying I think that if it's your intention to be in a long-term monogamous relationship that ends in a unbreakable partnership, that you have enough time to demonstrate your skills.
So don't do shit.
No.
Get a little cheese
No,
board.
date. Just date.
So what if I get a little burner stove and then take it to the park?
I think that's great.
You like that?
Yeah, you can have a picnic. Nothing wrong with that. That'll be fun.
You say you're gonna cook in the park?
I'm serious.
Okay, I like that because I think about that. Like, how soon is too soon to just really just like, you know? I guess for me, I'm such a like.
I mean, I think I
want to live out loud.
Yeah, until you're in a committed monogamous relationship. That's your time limit.
And until he says. Now, he needs to say it?
So you're asking me about... I know what you want.
I want you to say it. Does he need to say, you are this to me? So, I don't need to say that to him.
So, in my opinion, I think that you should allow men to be... In my opinion, I think that you should allow for men to be their natural selves. They're natural predators. And that's probably a little overboard with that. But
they're predators.
They're predators. They like to chase.
Yeah.
They're like predators. And so I think that you should allow them to be themselves. They work best when they're in their natural glory, which is being masculine
and predatory.
So you should allow for a man, if you're interested of course, to make the first move as far as being in an exclusive relationship. So you should never, in my opinion, and that's just only mine. You don't have to base it on mine.
Oh, and this is not
but
that.
I think you should, if you are in a dating relationship with someone, you should allow him to determine when y'all are exclusive.
Okay.
You should not. I'm not saying that you have to be when he's waiting, or I'm not saying that you have to wait for years for him to say that. But what I'm saying is, do not make that decision for you. That is a big turnoff for men. For most warm-blooded men, you do not want to say we're exclusive because you're being masculine. That's masculine. Like, can you imagine?
Okay, so do you? Okay, so what if? Yeah. Cause you know, come on, man, niggas, if they could take an inch, they gonna take about 4 miles.
Well, stop dating niggas.
Okay, so if you have somebody that you like, let me rephrase it. Okay, so if you have somebody that you like, and let's say y'all been dating, going out on dates, and spending time and getting acclimated with each other, frolicking. Okay, you're frolicking. You haven't bumped uglies yet.
You're so crazy.
You haven't done the deed yet.
I've never heard of that term.
Bumped uglies? So you haven't bumped uglies yet, right? But you like them, and you want to bump uglies.
Okay. I'm sorry. That's so corny. I never heard of that.
Bumped uglies?
No.
I mean, okay. Sidebar: genitalia is really weird. All right, like, I don't know. Is this like it's vain? Especially, I mean, penises are the right one is, but sometimes they're not.
Okay.
I don't know. And then you think of, like, I don't know. I call it a Virginia instead of vagina.
Okay.
I mean, they could be really flappy. It's just a lot of variables. It's just a lot of variables. So I call it bumping uglies. Anywho, I guess what my point, what am I trying to get at? What am I trying to ask? What am I trying to say?
We were talking about, like, when is too soon, basically.
When is too soon?
Like,
okay.
y'all are both feeling each other.
So you're both feeling each other. And then, okay, so like you're 3, 6, 4 or 5 months in, right? Mm-hmm. And he never says anything to you about his intent.
Right. He will if he wants you.
Or do you just follow the actions? Because I feel like sometimes, like, people say shit, and then they do something completely different. What are you looking at? Of course,
I mean, men are visual. They're men of they communicate by action, of course. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So you can interpret their action as what their intention is. Right. So I think that a man that really wants you,
you will know.
You will know. You will have no question about it.
And you won't be confused.
Yeah, because you won't have to ask. If you have to ask, you need to move on, baby girl.
So that's another thing, which is my biggest thing, right? If I feel I'm confused,
you need to move on,
I have to move on.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where this is leading. I don't know what. And listen, I've been in a lot of confusing relationships to know. If the moment I start feeling like...
And I think it's because you were doing things in an unconventional way, too.
That's true.
That had a lot
I'm
to do
an unconventional person, so what I was doing was very...
Yeah, so what I'm saying is there's reasons why you court in the way you court. Because if a man wants more of you, if he wants to be privileged to come to your home, to be monogamous, to be exclusive, he's going to tell you. He's going to say, this is what we're doing. Does that make sense? And that's why you do that. Because if you start going beyond that, then there's no reason for him to say that. It's nothing at all. Because he's getting it. He's getting
already
meals.
Meals.
He's getting
meals on wheels.
Visits to the house.
Woo, what reason why warm place to lay his head? Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's common sense.
But it's not.
It's not.
Because
that was cliche.
It's not common, and I feel like we are in such a maybe desperation is the wrong word, but we are in such a strong desire for this connection, right? That we're willing to bypass red flags, whatever, and just settle for what this person is offering. But if he's not saying anything, or there's no intention,
he will. Because here's the thing: if a man does not want you,
what would he not?
He
do?
is not going to continue to date or court you in the way that you want requiring. He's gonna move on. Yeah, because he's like, I don't want to do this. What the hell?
It's too much. She's too much.
Yeah, but a man that wants you is gonna be steadfast.
Ladies, listen up. Listen up. Come close. Come closer. 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 Nikki, say it again.
A man that wants you will let you know. He's going to remain steadfast. And it's not, you're not playing games by doing that, but you're just allowing him a chance to be who he is, to show himself. That's it. And it doesn't have to be complicated. I think we make it complicated sometimes.
Ooh, and you will not be confused.
If you're confused, you need to move around, baby girl.
You know what is another thing that I like to ask is, I asked this guy this, and I wanted to see his response. I asked, so this guy had been hitting me up, blah, 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 you know, finally, and I've had discussions with him. He knows my stance on the type of relationship that I want, the type of dynamic that I want. He knows my stance. He hit me up maybe a week after my birthday and was like, hey, I want to do this, this, and this. I want you to be ready on this date at this time, and I'm going to pick you up. That's my love language.
Yeah.
That's my love language. I mean, and I've said it before, I don't want to be in a relationship with a man and I have to be a man. I don't want to be that.
That's great.
So when he said that to me, I was like, yes, sir. I'm going to be ready. Absolutely. What's the vibe? Do I need to wear my sequins? Do I like what are we doing?
Is it formal?
Is it formal? Is it casual? Let me know. I just want to sit back and be pretty. I'm going to be picked up. Am I going to be fed? Absolutely, because you know I like to eat.
Yes, you do.
I love to eat. So he was saying all these wonderful things to me. You see, because I'm itching.
Here it comes.
The bullshit. So I tripped him up, right? See, okay, so we had this, we talked about this. Okay.
And what did I say on that the first time you told me about that? That's crazy, isn't it?
Yes, because you called it. Yeah, I forgot exactly how you said it, but you're like, nah, it's not.
I said, are you going to leave with a wet ass?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I said.
That's what she said. I didn't necessarily know what that meant.
And she was like, okay.
A wet ass. I'm going to leave with a wet ass. I don't really know what that means.
You know what it meant. You just kind of skirted past that comment I made.
But needless to say, I was left with a wet ass. Okay, so no. He hit me up, told me this date, right? But when the date started to approach, he said, hey, there's going to be a change in my schedule, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, cool. I'm not tripping. Because again, in my mind, there's no pressure to do anything. But on his part, it was like, nah, we need to have this weekend. We need to do this. We need to do that. Like, nah, like, I need. And at this point, my schedule is jam-packed. I'm busy. I'm shooting. I'm doing. I'm moving and grooving. You know, I'm living life. I'm, you know, all that, right? And he kept pressing me about this 2 nights. And again, in my mind, I'm not thinking anything other than, you know, this person just wants to come back in my life, and, you know, he's showing me that this is what he wants. We can fucking do it another weekend. It's not a big deal. But as the week progressed, and mind you, this was like a week of progression leading up. As the week progressed, it was just like I had to make a decision, and I was already moving around a lot, and I'm moving my schedule around. Mm-hmm. And one thing I don't like is if I tell you I'm busy, I'm not joking. Like, right. I'm busy. Like, and if I clear my schedule or if I move things around to accommodate to spend time with you, that's a big deal to me, because
as it should be.
I could be napping, I could be eating, I could just be watching serial killer documentaries. I could be doing my thing, but if I'm accommodating you to fit into my schedule, like, to me, that's a big deal.
Right.
So, randomly on the phone, you know, we're trying to work it out, whatever. I said, what's your intention? What's your intention? What was the change? What is this change? Y'all. This motherfucker told me he just wanted to chill and vibe. I'm 38. Okay? I don't have the time to chill and vibe. I don't want to chill and vibe. Like, that's cool when I was younger. But you're asking me to rearrange my schedule to chill and vibe.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what that means, right?
A setup.
Yeah.
Would you say clickbait?
Clickbait.
But when I asked him, it was this.
I said Netflix and chill. That's what.
Netflix and chill.
That's what he wants to do.
Netflix.
But I called it when you told me about it before that happened.
Yeah.
I already knew it. I knew that. And I'm like, what are we doing? In my head, I'm like, what are we doing?
Because, this person has known me for a very long time, and I've already told him what I want, what I expect, and what I'm not going to settle on. So when he came with me with this energy, it was like, oh, he coming with that fire. He coming to get his girl. Okay.
And in my head, when you told me that, oh, he's trying to set you up to
fail me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to spell you. Yeah.
So you can leave with a wet ass.
Leave with a wet ass. And that's what he tried.
Yeah.
But the thing is, my God, the God that I serve, he not feeling nobody play with me. And that's why his schedule switched the way it did.
Yep.
Because God knew that intention was not, and he knew what I was looking for.
Right.
And, like, always ask the intentions.
Mm-hmm. So that you can hold them accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I never asked that before. So it was always kind of like, well,
they can skirt by that.
They can skirt around it. They can say, well, I just didn't know that's where things were going. I didn't know. But when I asked
that's why I say put your gun on the table. That's what that means. Put your gun on the table.
This episode is called Put Your Gun on the Table.
I love that.
Ladies, put your fucking gun on the table.
Put your gun on the table.
Ask these niggas' intentions. Go ahead, Nikki. Go ahead. Tell them. Look in the camera. I want you to tell these girls, tell these women.
It is okay with being yourself. It's okay with setting boundaries. It's okay with asking for transparency. It's okay to want more for yourself.
And it's okay to walk away.
Yeah.
When you don't get that.
Yeah.
Because people that will, they will do it.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, Nikki. Okay, so like you're literally gonna be like a regular.
You think so?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're literally gonna be
This is so much fun.
Like you're literally gonna be a regular, and I love you so much. Give me a hug. Let's bring it in. I love you. You guys.
I love this.
It's been fun. It's been real.
Yes, it has.
I hope you guys learned. Got some gems. Put your fucking gun on the table, ladies. Don't let these niggas. Where? Boom.
No, not like that.
Not like that. Oh, that's it.
No,
just a dainty.
When you put your guns on the table, you just pull it out of your bag and you just slide it right there.
Ah.
Yeah.
Slide that gun on the table, ladies, and let these motherfuckers know. Let them know.
It's like,
what's your intentions? Up front. What's your up front? I don't care if you met him 30 minutes ago. Intentions. Don't let them play you. Don't let them give you a wet ass. You got a lot of time.
That's what you take from it.
If you could take anything from this episode, put your gun on the table, slide it.
Not slide it. Just set it nicely right there.
Oh,
like,
let them see it.
Look them
Just
in the
let 'em see
eye.
it.
Look them in the eye.
As you put it on there.
Yeah.
Right.
And this you let them know that you're serious. You're to be taken serious, and that you value yourself. You value them. You know.
Yeah.
And you just want to date intentionally and just live good. Live a good life.
And don't have no wet ass.
Oh my God, our conversation. I get very raw with her.
She dead ass said, "Oh girl, that's a wet ass."
I'll be doing something. I'll be in the middle of working, and we'll be talking, and I'm multitasking.
Yes.
And I'm hearing what she's saying, but then when my ears perk up, my ears will perk up.
She said, "Oh girl, you that's a wet ass, right?"
Yeah.
What?
Okay. And then a week later,
I was a wet ass. But anyways, God
and I was
bless.
like, "What did I tell you?" See,
yes.
Because when I said that, she was like, "Whatever." Like, I don't know what that means. That's what you said. I don't know what that means.
I didn't, and now I know.
You know what that meant. You weren't trying to hear it. No, you just weren't
maybe
trying to
I
hear
wasn't
it.
trying to hear it.
No, you weren't trying to hear it. You know what that meant.
Yeah, he did. He provided a wet ass for sure, and then
that's why that's important. That's why it's important to have people that love and support you around you. Yeah,
and not judgment. It's not like
because I'm like, okay, Adriana,
No, she sent me a picture like her facial expression as I was talking to her. I'm gonna post it.
Oh my God,
because that's funny as fuck. Because you're just like,
that's how that's typically how.
You're like, I'm gonna take a picture of it, and you're like, well, anyways, but yes, don't let these guys waste your time, ladies. Set standards, keep them high. Don't settle for nothing, and don't let these motherfuckers gaslight you into thinking that what you're wanting is unattainable from them, because they will absolutely make you feel like shit for having standards, for repeating yourself and asserting your boundaries and all that. They will absolutely try to make you feel like you are the crazy one, but you're not. Set your standards, keep them high, and somebody will step up.
Yeah, a man will only do what you allow them to do. I mean, we all know that's an old saying, but it
rings true.
They will only do what you allow them to do. And people love boundaries. Men love boundaries. They'll love you even more.
Stay firm, ladies. Stay firm. Be busy. Let them know. See, Nikki has been teaching me. Don't let them do that last minute shit.
No, I think that in dating, it's all about, for me, it's just even in business.
Right.
Like being respectful of people's time. So that goes the same for you dating someone. You need to put yourself as a person that is valuable and that has a life and that has things going on. You because you do. And it's not respectful. It's not respectful to ask someone to do something last minute. So it's just respect. I'm just big on respect, and that's why I say that. People might disagree, but I'm just big on respect.
I think
that if a man is asking you on a date, you just need to tell him, give me at least a week in advance, and call and confirm the day before. Call and confirm the day before.
Because I feel like that last minute shit is like a different level, right? Like, or is that
sounds like you're gonna leave with a wet ass to me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, it's just like.
All right.
Wood. I don't even do that in business. I don't. You can't call me the day before and set up a meeting.
Yeah.
No. Even if I don't have a meeting. No.
Yeah. Ladies, and gentlemen, this is not just strictly it's just for everybody. And it could be the roles reversed. Same. It
might be
guys.
a little bit different for guys, but I think that if
if
everybody has a level of respect,
I
mean, we'll get along better.
Absolutely. Respect my time. Respect my autonomy. Did I say that right? Respect my shit. And so hopefully you guys got some gems. Yeah. I sure did. I'm not leaving with no wet ass anymore. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, listening. Please, the Recovered Party Girl Pod on Instagram, Twitter. You see everything coming up right now. You see it. This is Nikki Smith. She is a realtor, guys. If you need a real estate agent that's not even just a real estate agent, she's everything. She is so knowledgeable and so she is wanting to create generational wealth. This chick has it. She knows. If you are interested in buying, selling, whatever, hit up my girl. She is the real deal. Like, I can't wait to buy my first home because I know she is going to put me in the right place, and I'm so excited for that. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. This is Adriana Poole. This is Nikki Smith, and you're watching the Recovered Party Girl Podcast, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
I love you. That was great. I had a good time. I can't wait to come back. I think we have so much to give.
Yeah, Nikki.
Oh my gosh, we haven't even touched it. I think that was
yes, bitch. Cheers. Wet ass.
That was good.
Cheers to the wet ass.
And putting your gun on the table. I love that because you were like, I was like, no.
Dainty, soft. Just slide it. Just slide it.